I'm back. Today is August 29th, 2023. Uh, Another running update. Still not running, um, but I'm doing a lot of different cross training, and I feel actually quite happy with my regimen. So, I feel like I'm getting close to like my hip is improving. So hopefully I'll start running soon. But um, I've decided that all this cross training is actually really good for me and for the races. So, you know, I'm doing the elliptical and I'm lifting my feet like pretty high up off the pedals, so it looks a lot like running. And when it's really hard to correct your form in the actual act of running. And to me, the elliptical is like running in slow motion. And it isn't exactly the same, but I feel like it's really good to correct my form. So, because my left ankle has been a problem for a long time, I've noticed when I do the elliptical that my feet don't land the same, probably because of this ankle issue. So when I'm on the elliptical and my feet are off the pedals, I'm much more able to correct how my left foot lands. So it's not like, because I kind of like tilted my foot and is landing more kind of on the outside edge, I think, to avoid pain in my ankle. And I think that's why my left hip keeps having issues, because of the way my foot lands. So because I'm now able to run more in slow motion, I can correct my form more, and I think it's better. And now I'm running. I'm not running. I'm using the elliptical longer, so I'm kind of trying to target the same number of steps as I normally would training while running. But it takes much longer to cover the same number of steps because my turnover is much less. Um, but I think it's fine because I'm going longer, so that's more endurance and more mental training, dealing with like a prolonged period. So I'm convincing myself that doing it this way is actually better than actual running. Um, so it's like a psychological thing, but I think there's something to it, that I'm not just like being delusional. And I'm still targeting a lot of different muscle groups in my cross training, so I'm hitting like all these different machines, and I got a trampoline. So for the last few days, I've been jumping on it and working on strengthening my stabilizer muscles, and also increasing bone density. And it actually doesn't hurt while I jump on alternating feet, like when I alternate. But because like if I try to jump consecutively on my left foot, it isn't like totally pain free. So I'm using that as like a test to see if I should even try to run. If it doesn't feel quite right, then I'm not going to even attempt. So it's been almost 2 weeks since I've even attempted to run, but that's okay. I feel cardiovascularly very, very fit, and I'm still hitting the weights. So I genuinely think that even though it's only a week and a half away, my Boston qualifying race um, might actually happen and might turn out okay. So my goal is just to qualify, not to set any like personal bests, and just use that as a training run for Chicago if I do it. If I don't, that's fine. I like in 2019, I had front hip pain. I ran the race on like no training. It was fine. My hip was totally fine. It was just so crazy. And then like a month later, I ran New York, and I was like actually really confident. And what I thought was like a calf muscle knot was actually a stress reaction, and I got a stress fracture in the middle of Queensboro Bridge, like mile 15-ish. So that was horrible because I cared much more about New York than Chicago, and it didn't happen. It was flipped. So I don't want to repeat that mistake. I don't want to like sacrifice my Chicago race by running this Boston qualifying race. So we'll see. I have to be like super attuned to my body and like allow myself to stop. And not just allow, but actually stop when there's some signal that something's not right. So it is a weakness of mine to really tune in, and I'm working very hard on that to tune in pretty closely. So that's the deal. I feel that I am fit and there is hope for me. And another thing is, Meb Keflezighi, who won the 2014 Boston Marathon, he's awesome. And, he has an Olympic medal and he's just so cool. I love him so much. He has said, according to Kara Goucher, who's also awesome, that his marathon training cycles are only like 7 weeks. And he only needs that amount of time to train because he has a lot of running miles under his legs. And for him, that's effective for injury prevention, for not like having such a long cycle that, and putting so much stress on his body that, it induces an injury. So I tell myself, hey, Meb only trains 7 weeks for a marathon. So that's, I'm at 5.5 weeks from Chicago right now. So that's only a week and a half shorter than Meb's normal training cycle. So I tell myself, it's okay. I 5.5 weeks, that's fine. If I run a month, that's okay. I just need to like train my, running muscles just enough before the race, and it could be only like a couple of weeks, it's fine. Like my muscle memory will kick in. So that's that. I feel like it like anything can happen. I can have a horrible training cycle and a great race, or a great training cycle and a terrible race. Both of those have happened for me. So nothing's off the table. I just need the stars to align for a few hours on the day, and that's it. So I'm just leaving the possibilities open and just treating this like a game, just troubleshooting and trying to figure out what the solution is, and feeling joy from finding a solution. It's all just like identifying the solution, and there's always a solution. So that's where my mindset is right now. Yeah, so we'll see. As an aside note, I mentioned before this traffic court thing that happened like a month ago, and I had my follow-up hearing. I filed a motion to kind of vacate the order, my guilty verdict. And the freaking judge, who was a different judge, told me that it was a petty offense and there are no jury trials for a petty offense or something like that. And it's crazy because there are like so many opportunities for the system to let me know that wasn't possible, and it never happened. So I'm really miffed about that. But I'm gonna, I have a plan so to do it and use this outcome to my advantage. So I am PO'd about that because it was just utterly bogus and ridiculous, but I'm not going to let this be a net negative for me. I'm determined to get value out of that experience. So that is that. Anyway, I hope you're well. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.